So we're in Spain. So we're staying in Playa de Palma, which is a stretch of beach south of Palma Town. And right now we're going to take a taxi to go to actual Palma Town to explore and take a look and walk around. And it's supposedly it is a very old city and supposed to be very interesting and beautiful. So excited to do that. And it's right on the bay, so very excited. And of course you're going to come with us because you probably want to see it too. So we're going to go do that. And it's really sunny and warm today, which is wonderful because it was rainy kind of and overcast yesterday. But that's fine. It was still good. It was very relaxing. And so, but today I get to wear a dress because I had to wear a jacket and jeans and things like that. So we're gonna go do that and let's go. We're on the beach and it's really warm outside. Someone's selling watermelons stuff, so the water is so cold for me anyway, but then again Mexico and Thailand is kind of cold for me. And I think I'm gonna go show you the water because it's really clear. It's really pretty. pretty it is. Look how clear the water is. It's so absolutely freezing cold. Well, for me. But apparently it's supposed to be as warm as it is in June. This is how warm it is in June. I'm not a fan. It's really cold, but it's so clear and pretty. Oh, my hair getting everywhere. Look at that. It's like crystal clear water. So beautiful. There's so many people swimming. I have no idea how they do it. But we just got out to tan and lie in the sun, so maybe after a few hours I'll be interested in a cold little dip as well. But for now, that's what we're doing, and I'll check in with you later. Hello. So I wanted to catch up and let you know what's happening. I don't know why I always do this with my hands. I do. I don't know why. I think it's because I don't film frequently enough. So I'm always like trying to do something. Plus I actually am a very avid hand talker, kind of gesturing person. But anyway, I digress. And it's our last day here. We leave tomorrow afternoon. And I wanted to just check in with you and I guess see what and share what's been going on and what we've been doing and things like that. So it's like 13:30 almost, and I'm still in a bathrobe because I took a shower this morning and just faffing around the room. We had a coffee on the balcony and that was really nice and fun, and yeah, just I liked it. Although I do miss my coffee, to be honest. Not to sound very snooty or pretentious, but I really miss my coffee. And just lying in bed, and so actually watching some YouTube videos and just relaxing, I guess, because we're leaving tomorrow. And it's been a nice day. I really like Spain. I actually really liked it. I mean, I haven't seen all of Spain, of course, but then again, you know. But you can also, in my opinion, you can kind of tell about a country even just from going to one place, because although it does vary a lot, at the same time there's not enough of a difference to make a significant difference. There are exceptions, of course, there's exceptions to everything, but on a general you get to see the environment, even the economy, the people, just how everything functions. And although there are differences between cities and things like that, there's still like a general base. So I wanted to share a couple of things that I found really interesting here, because I think I've said this like a million times already, but we're in Mallorca. And one funny thing that, it's not like haha funny, it's like interesting funny, because I have never seen so many women taxi drivers in my life. I don't think I've ever really seen a woman taxi driver. Like most of their taxi drivers are women, and that's so cool. That was so unexpected, just because, like I said, I have never really seen women taxi drivers, to be honest. It's kind of like in Bali, all the housekeeping, like everyone who cleans the room, are always men. It's only men, which again is like super interesting because it's usually always women. Not that I'm being like sexist or anything, but that's just the way it is. Like there's men taxi drivers and women housekeeping staff and stuff, like totally flipped. So that was really interesting. And let's see. Oh yeah, I just like have a list of notes because I always forget everything. And then I'm like, oh, I should have said that and I should have said that. But then, I'm not motivated enough to put an effort into it. It's bad, but so I'm putting effort beforehand so that we don't have to have this whole thing. Anyway, oh yeah, okay, so I have never really heard anything about Spain. Like I wanted to go to Spain for years and years and years, like particularly Barcelona, and I never really hear anything about Spain. And what I mean by that is like if you're living in the States, like in the United States, from that perspective, Spain never really gets talked about or mentioned that frequently. You always hear about England, Germany, and Italy. That's like the only. Hi.
Hey.
What do you... Oh, okay. What's up? Did you want some? You can.
Am I interrupting?
No. I'm just sharing Spain things.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. And you never really hear anything about Spain, just those 3 countries for the most part. Like, if anyone's ever talking about Europe, and then France, of course, but France is kind of like France, and that's it. Nobody really talks about like France itself. I don't know if that makes sense. They just talk about like the Eiffel Tower and shopping and Chanel, you know, like very kind of almost generic things. I mean, I guess, but still, no, people don't really talk about France, at least not in my experience. And so it's a really, really interesting country. I really like it. I don't even know how to explain it. I like the country. The food's really good. There's a lot more bad food, like even the same things that there are in France, like the ingredients will be worse here, unfortunately, and that's a little sad and disappointing. But in like generally the food is really good. The bread is really good. I really like the bread, and I mean, I know bread because, you know, I live in France, no offense. Again, sounds really snooty and pretentious, but it's true. Like, France has amazing bread, and the wine's really good. The seafood is insanely amazing. I really, really, really like the seafood. They have some of the best seafood I've ever had. And I also like that they have a lot more fresher food. A lot of their food is like grilled, and it comes with vegetables and things like that. It's really fresh, a lot of it. And I don't mean fresh as in it's like freshly prepared, but just more greens and crunchy vegetable kind of foods. Also, I think this is particular to Mallorca, but there are so many German tourists here. It's insane. Like, all the street vendors are trying to speak to you in German, and I don't speak a word of German, and they come like try to talk to us in German. And I was asking my husband, like, why do they always talk to us in German? Well, I mean, besides the fact that there's a lot of German tourists here, he's like, well, you're, you know, a white blonde, we're like white blonde people, of course they're gonna like talk to us in German, which sounds so like cliche, but I guess. And I've never seen so many Germans. I mean, I've never been to Germany, so I've never seen like so many German tourists in one place. And the funniest thing is that I can totally see why people always say that my dad looks German. He looks totally German. He looks completely German. I mean, he is. My grandfather, he was German, and my dad totally looks like that. I mean, completely looks German. And also, everyone always said that he spoke English with a German accent, and I can totally see that now, because when they like speak in English, that's how my dad talks. It's so funny and interesting. There's also a lot of Russian speaking German tourists here, which is like also weird and bizarre to me, because I'm used to Russian speaking English people. I mean, Russian speaking Americans. Does that make sense? So like Russians in America, and they speak both English and Russian simultaneously. Well, here I've heard a lot of like Russian Germans being spoken simultaneously, the way that we speak English between ourselves. That's how they speak Dutch and Deutsch. Deutsch? Is it Deutsch? Someone tell me, please tell me. I'm pretty sure it's Deutsch. I always get confused with the Dutch and Deutsch thing. And Dutch is Netherlands, right? Yeah, I'm pretty sure. So it was really, really, really interesting to see, because like my dad totally looks like that completely. It's so bizarre, and he like speaks with a German accent. I mean, he used to speak German, so I mean that makes sense. But yeah, it was really interesting. Another thing, speaking of languages, so weird, because I mean I'm not like, I don't know Spanish or anything, but I studied it in high school for 2 years, so I'm more familiar with it than I was with French. I mean, French was completely just like to me. It was hard. And since I have been to like Latin America and Mexico and like those places quite a few times, I was used to Spanish being spoken like that, but here it's so completely different. They like sound completely different. They pronounce words differently. They drop off endings and things. They'll say like buena dia instead of buenos dias and stuff, and like they have like a totally different accent. And it was so interesting because it's my first time in Spain, and so like I can compare the two. So it was fun. So there's a lot of like new stuff that I've learned and happened and stuff. I definitely want to go visit more of Spain now. I'm quite pleased with the place. So I'm gonna go get dressed now, and we're gonna go lie by the pool, because you know it's our last day and it's like super sunny and hot. I lied out by the pool yesterday. I got quite a tan, which is so crazy because I haven't been in the sun since like Thailand, which was in June. And I still have enough of a tan base that's just like got so tan. So we're gonna go enjoy the sun and go home tomorrow. Okay, I hope you enjoyed it. Ciao. So this is our last night here, and we're leaving tomorrow morning from the hotel. I mean morning, but by morning I mean like afternoon. And we're gonna go out to dinner. So I have dinner here and just have my hair all, well, like I do all the time, just natural and flowy from, you know, the sun and the sand and the sea and what have you. And I am wearing my white dress, which now and forever will be known as the twirly dress because it twirls perfectly. And I'm wearing my espadrilles because, you know, it's very Spanish of me. So I'm just wearing espadrilles and my dress, and I'm not taking a bag because, well, we're eating inside of the resort, and what's the point? So that's what I'm gonna be. Oh, I want to show you. It has embroidery at the back and stuff, and on the sleeves. Such a cute dress, I love it. So, good night.